Good afternoon, Professor Fredericks. Thank you for making the time to talk with us today. Can you tell us your name and what it is that you do?
I'm Professor Emeritus Joseph Frederick, OJCD,
Oh,
and past director of the Fertility Management Unit, and also head of the Department of Obstetrics, Gynecology, and Child Health from 1999 2015. When I took over the headship of the two areas, I decided to restructure the two departments into subspecialties. Two of the notable ones which we are concerned just now include the fetal-maternal unit and the infertility area. Apart from oncology and the other disciplines like infectious diseases by Dr. Professor Christie, we managed to build infrastructure. That is, at that time there was no ventilator for ventilation for the neonates, for the very low birth weight babies had to go to the adult ICU, and most of them perished along the way. So I decided to develop the infrastructure by fixing up a unit that we had in existence by adding the configuration for 8 ventilators. At that time we could only afford 4, so we set about restructuring with the 4, wired for 8. As time goes by and the expansion phase, we would have more and more ventilators coming in. I also encouraged Dr. Trotman. One of the problems we had was the feeding of the very low birth weight babies was a problem, apart from infection. And so I encouraged her to go for a year study leave to subspecialize in that area. And she came back and did the yeoman service in terms of saving the very small, very low birth weight baby. Since my departure, I'm supposed they have built upon that now, and that is really moving forward.
that's awesome, Prof. That's awesome work, and that's responsible. The work that you've done, the foundational work that you did, is responsible for the unit that we have today. So a big thank you to all of us who have benefited, both staff and families who have benefited from that transformation. That's awesome.
The IVF unit was we were about to start the IVF unit, and we recognized immediately that you need a backup from the neonatal side in case you have multiple pregnancies, low birth weight babies, and so on. So some of the funds that I put in the nursery really came from the unit, the fertility management unit. For example, medical area to pay for the installation of all of that and so on. But because I was straddling both departments, it was easier to access the funds to be able to do that.
Right.
So
awesome.
The IVF came on stream, we did very well, and at the same time was very popular, and so the nursery giving us a good support, enhance our position and so on.
Right.
So that needed to keep training people, and then we sent Dr. Johnson to Canada to spend a year in perinatology, and she came back and helped set up the unit. So both she and Dr. Trotman made great strides in terms of establishing the unit and seeing the functioning in terms of teaching, the service work and so on, and research in that area. So now I'm very happy to see what I started have now yielded 1,000 flowers.
Yes, Prof. It has.
So people like you now can come in now and add something to it and so on as the years go by.
Yes.
To see what we started, and then it didn't go to waste, but now the younger people are going and furthering their studies, coming back and injecting new ideas into the system.
Yes. Awesome.
So now I'm retired, but I still have a vested interest in ensuring that things are moving forward in whatever way I can. I'm willing to help.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you for that. This was amazing. I've learned so much in this interview. Thank you for taking the time from your very busy schedule at such short notice. Really appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, good afternoon, Prof. Lane. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me and chat with me today. Can you start by telling us a little bit about yourselves, what you do, and why you do what you do?
Okay, well, I start off first by saying I'm the Dean of the Faculty of Medical Sciences on the Mona campus, but I'm also still affiliated with the Department of Child and Adolescent Health, where I'm one of the consultants who rotate in the special care nursery to look after our precious little ones.
So can you tell us why you went into neonatology?
I've always, well, first of all, I enjoy pediatrics. I've always liked pediatrics, and I've somehow always gravitated towards the newborn. I also have done quite a bit of research which sort of delves into perinatology, looking at maternal nutrition and how her nutrition affects the baby's outcome, baby size, and I guess they just go hand in hand. So looking at perinatally what they do, I've also been trained in fetal ultrasounds and following growth of fetuses. So I guess naturally I would just continue into neonatology and looking after them once they are born.
Hi. So can you tell us how long you've worked in neonatology?
Wow, that is taking us back some time. So after I graduated, I actually went to the Tropical Metabolism Research Unit at that time, and that's where I did a PhD. But while doing that, since 1992, I've been engaged with the Department of Child and Adolescent Health, where I worked in neonatology or looking after the newborns. So it's really from 1992 that I've been in the nursery.
Wow. Okay. This was news to me, Prof. Thanks for sharing that. So tell us what your hopes and dreams are for the neonatal unit.
I think the main thing is to see a unit, and I'll take it from two parts, both from the staff and from the equipment. So let's say the equipment, which to me is probably easier. One, I'd like to see a unit that is well equipped, where we have all the necessary resources to look after our very tiny ones. And I've seen that over time. I'll tell you that we have done certainly better and better. So we're seeing much more survivors among our certainly less than 1,000 grammars. We have 600 grammars that have survived, and I would say that the smallest one is a 540 gram infant who is now 30 odd years old, who survived. She probably might have been one in a large number, but it is possible. But I have seen where we have improved over time in terms of having our smaller ones survive. But with that, we do need equipment. We do need to concentrate more and more on nutrition. And I would love to see a properly functioning TPN unit, a nutrition unit that looks after the nutrition of our small, very tiny ones. Because to me, without nutrition, you're fighting a losing battle. So I also would like to see where we have, I'm not struggling and fighting to get a ventilator, because I'm juggling between 3 persons who may need a ventilator, 3 children who may need a ventilator, but having access to all equipment, incubators, something as simple as incubators. Sometimes we are making makeshift with an incubator because they're not working, and I have so many kids on the nursery of which I don't have the equipment of which to really monitor these children. Monitors, making sure that every child has a monitor, every child has an IV pump, and I'm not sharing equipment between. So the equipment, I think I would love to see the equipment on our unit improved, and then the hard one is the staff. As we train our staff and we get comfortable with our staff and we have excellent nurses, we unfortunately lose them because they're looking for greener pastures, they're looking for survival for themselves, and therefore we lose them. But we have had some extreme extremely good nurses that we've lost to North America, to the rest of the Caribbean. I've gone to the rest of the Caribbean and seen our nurses there, but financially it is difficult for them to survive with what they earn, and I can understand, but it pains my heart when we have gotten so close to some of these nurses who we know are excellent and we lose them.
Yes. So some very challenging issues to deal with.
Yes.
How do you see the partnership with the Caring for Miracles Foundation helping to address some of these?
Well, as we've had partnerships before, I think in getting equipment is one big way, and I've seen where we've had partnerships with the Creamy Foundation, which have really helped in getting equipment. We used to have many years ago, long before you, Dr. Lewis, the Special Care Nursery Foundation, which used to have banquets, and that's where we got a lot of equipment. So a lot of things that we actually got on the nursery was from the funds that we got from this annual foundation, which really helped us tremendously. Many persons on that foundation now, unfortunately, have transitioned. Those that are there now are too old to continue. And therefore, if you could take the place of such a foundation and step into those huge shoes that they had, I could see how we could really improve, especially, as I said, not the staff, but certainly the equipment that we have on our nursery, which, as you know, is continually having to upgrade and to replace.
Right. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Prof. I know you're a very busy lady, so I'm not going to take any more of your time. Thank you for sharing with us and making the time to chat with me today. Thank you.
It was my pleasure.